Hello, wonderful people of the world. Welcome to episode number 1 of Kirk Questions with me, Shaun Kirk. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who wrote in and asked questions during the week over social media land. The response was brilliant, and I can't wait to see where these little episodes take us. It's an opportunity for you guys to get to know me better, me to get to know you better. You guys pick my brains if there's any little piece of knowledge in there that you think that I might have that might help you. And anyway, just generally it's to have a whole lot of fun. So, question 1 came from Maddie Bright on Facebook, who wrote, have you always played solo? Is there any particular reason that you don't play with a band? Yes, Maddie, I have always played solo. The main reason that I don't play with a band is just because right at this point in my career, you know, it's still, I feel like it's still early days. The following is still growing, and it's just not financially viable at the moment. But that's not to say that you know, the plan is to never have a band. The plan is absolutely one day to have a band. I would absolutely love to just be a front guy and just stand out the front and maybe do a couple of guitar solos and just sing and just purely be out the front to entertain the people, whilst my rhythm section in the background kind of holds the groove. That's the dream, absolutely. But yeah, it's just financially it would not work right now for me. And the main reason that it wouldn't work is because I'm just so dedicated to doing music full time. Like I just refuse to have to be, you know, one of those guys that has to work a part-time job that I loathe just so I can, you know, hold on to a bit of my music career. I'm confident that I can still put on a great show by myself. I've got no doubt that it would be a better show with a band, but the sacrifices that I guess would come with that, I just refuse at the moment. Maybe my mind will change later down the line. I don't know. Maybe I'm making excuses. I don't know. But just at this stage in my career, I just want to do it full time. I want to be able to sit in this studio each day and create. And at the moment, the best way for me to be able to do that is to just do these shows solo and aim towards having a band eventually. Question 2 comes from @Ellie_dew_95 on Instagram, who wrote, what's the hardest thing about being an independent musician? Well, I think the hardest thing probably ties into that last question. It would definitely be the financial stress that comes with it. I definitely do not want to sound like one of those whinging, you know, I don't get paid enough musicians. I'm definitely not one of those. I accept, you know, my circumstances and just get on with it, which I think is a much more sane way of going about things. And but without a doubt, the financial stress that comes with being a musician, probably just anyone running their own business, you know, the financial stress that comes with that can be the hardest part. Is the hardest part, can be the hardest part. Debatable. Yeah, I would say that's probably the answer to your question. Question number 3 comes from Jack Green on Facebook land, who asked, when did you first learn a song and what song was it? I first learned a song when I was 16 years old. There was a nylon string guitar. I love telling this story, by the way. There was a nylon string guitar sitting in my bedroom that my wonderful mum had put in there. It was collecting dust. It was just kind of sitting in the corner. And one day a friend of mine came around, picked it up. I'd always been kind of curious about it, but just kind of never known where to start. And a friend of mine came around, picked it up and started playing a tune. It sounded amazing to me, and I instantly just needed to know how to do that. So I asked, and he showed me, and before you know it, I was kind of non-stop annoying the hell out of my parents, because I would be non-stop playing dun, 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 up the back of the house. So the answer to your question, my first song was Deep Purple's Smoke on the Water. Question number 4 comes from at Chris PR72775852 on Twitter. Chris, thank you so much for sending in your question. There is obviously a shitload of at Chris PRs on Twitter, and you got the 7 millionth account number of that. Anyway, Chris asked, I'm planning to go to the Mediterranean. Where was your favorite local location on that trip and why? My favorite location, I don't know. It's a tough one. There was so many good ones. First ones that come to mind was Split, Dubrovnik, Trieste in Italy, pretty much just because of the pizza. And eating a pizza in Italy was an amazing experience. Bled in Slovenia, just because it was Slovenia. Mostar in Bosnia was just eye-opening and just somewhere completely different for me. So I don't know, Chris, I don't know what my favorite was. I think just the whole trip in general was amazing. I absolutely loved Croatia, and hopefully I'm relatively confident that it won't be the last time I ever go there in my life. So yeah, I would just say enjoy it, dude. That whole Croatian coast is amazing. Have a brilliant time and lap it up. Question number 5 comes from at Traveling Manchild on Instagram, who asked, how did you lose your virginity? Well, my answer to that is, wouldn't you love to know? That's it. Question number 6 comes from at Joe McKay06. Question number 6 from Joe McKay06, oh yeah, on Instagram, who wrote simply, can we date? ? Joe, well, to answer your question, yes, we could, but it would come with some quite very severely serious implications personally for me, because I have a beautiful girlfriend who I love dearly, and she's just around the corner in the kitchen, and I feel like that would upset her a lot, and that is something I do not want to do. To answer your question, yes, we could. Are we going to? Look, I'm going to have to kindly decline just because my heart is solely dedicated to my beautiful girlfriend, Anita. I hope you understand. I trust you will. Question number 7 and the final question for the first episode of Kirk Questions, which has been an absolute blast, comes from at Robert_Patton_music on Instagram. Robert asks, favorite blues artist of all time? My favorite blues artist of all time would have to be Howlin' Wolf. Why? Just because he was so unique. He was a freaking giant of a human. His voice was just something like had never been heard before and probably hasn't ever been heard since. And, you know, I never got to see him play live, and that just kills me every single day that I am on this planet. And every piece of footage that I think I've watched every single YouTube clip of the Wolf on YouTube, and he just looked like such an entertainer. His songs, his band, everything about him was just cool. Yeah, so the answer to your question, my favorite blues artist of all time was the one and only Howlin' Wolf. Thank you for tuning in to the very first episode 1 of Kirk Questions. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much to everyone who wrote in their questions. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, heard, please do give this video a share around on your socials. Don't forget to like me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Snapchat or YouTube or all those social platforms. We've got plenty of content coming at you guys very soon. Stick around for the second episode, which won't be too far away either. If you want to ask a question, drop it in the comments below. Thank you so much. See you next time. Yeah!